Welcome back to Sonic Mania Plus, Chemical Plant Act 2.
Chemical Plant Zone
like the
again.
Ending a part before the end of an act. That's weird.
That's very, it's YouTube circa 2008.
We only had 10 minutes, guys, remember, at one point. So if you're whining about, oh man, this 12-minute video is so short. Back in my day, we were grateful to have something over 9.
59 seconds.
Okay.
We had so many multi-part videos. That was our substitute for the feature-length ones, okay? You remember Spoonie's Final Fantasy VIII review and how it was like 50 fucking parts long? Yeah, that was what we did instead of Gaming Brit's Ratchet video. That and horrible webcam quality. Yeah, things are looking pretty good.
Unregistered hypercam, if you remember this, you're eligible for a veteran's discount.
Veterans discount.
Fraps.
Oh,
No,
ew,
no,
Fraps is
Fraps and
gross.
Dazzle.
Fraps is
Fraps
gross.
and Dazzle.
Ugh.
No, I'll defend Fraps if you had a high-end PC to run it.
Oh yeah, if you were running the
Which you
Pentagon
probably
supercomputers, then it ran fine.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah, I know. What?
But can it run Crisis?
Okay, back then, though, the YouTube Partner Program was barely in its infancy. No one could afford to invest that much in their YouTube hobby.
unless if you were like Fred or the Annoying Orange.
Yeah, the 3.5 people
God.
on YouTube.
Those are two names I've heard in a while.
No, it's one person in an orange.
I'm pretty sure you haven't heard of the Annoying Orange since that plane ride to MomoCon a few years ago, John. That was something.
Oh, yeah. I still haven't wiped that off my memory yet. Thank you for bringing it back up.
There was a
Nice for that.
security presentation that played on the screens on the back of this on the back of the seats on the plane. For those who haven't been there, it was Delta Airlines, and they severely toned this down the following year. But it was basically just internet memes. The security presentation.
How do you do, fellow children?
Yeah, it is that. for
Every
like 2
single
minutes.
cut was a new meme, and the Annoying Orange popped up at one point, along with like everything you can imagine from that time.
Oh look, it's to go back to what's on screen. It's worst puzzle game series.
Yeah, it's the competition between Ryan and Eggman to see who is worse at Mean Bean Machine. And Ryan here just will not miss an opportunity to not set up a combo.
I have
I don't
been
play these
silently
games.
judging
Put
your
the purple
Puyo
bean on
skills.
top of the red one and then complete a red comp. It's
No,
not that hard.
no, don't, because
Even
Puyo
Eggman
Puyo
did it.
is bad, and Ryan should treat it as badly as it deserves.
Said the plebeian.
Dude, like just like 2 days ago, you had a combo there, and you just avoided doing.
What makes you think I'm not? What makes you think I'm not doing this on purpose just because it's you?
Because I know you. You don't have that kind of foresight.
He's right. He's right, though, Ryan. To be fair.
I know. I'm not denying it.
I tweeted my own run at this boss as Mighty the other day, and I set up
And I'm
like.
Hey, look at
he got a combo!
I set up like a 5-step combo that drowned this guy in black beans within seconds.
Just thinking about those
And
beans,
I'm still
man.
alone.
Man, why are the ladies so unimpressed with my Puyo Puyo skills? It just doesn't make any sense.
To be fair, Ted, they're not impressed with your Tetra skills either.
I can play until line 999.
Good for you. Nobody cares.
Okay, to be fair, and I told the story before, the reason I'm so good at Mean Bean Machine though is because like the first player port on my Genesis broke ages ago, and the only games I could play on it until we got it replaced were games that let you play exclusively with a second player port, and that limited me to hockey and Mean Bean Machine.
Wayne Gretzky.
I don't know if it was Wayne Gretzky. It was NHL, I think.
It might have been. It might have
Ooh,
been.
OPT.
I don't know what EA calls their hockey series, but I know that the EA games on Genesis were considered to be pretty good. Like,
Well, I don't think they were EA at the time. But
no,
they were
like
hockey, but-
Madden was around in the early '90s. Like,
Well, that doesn't
Madden
mean it wasn't. I don't think it was owned by EA at the time.
No, it was. It definitely was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
EA was around. I know that
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I know it because they got their.
Yeah. No, I know they were around, but I don't know exactly what they owned at the time.
Yeah,
Enough to have a bad reputation.
It's like the only, like, there were definite like the Genesis Super Nintendo days, like there were definitely certain things that were debated between the two, like which system had the best platformers. Like people argued about that, but like the only things that people could really agree on was that the SNES had the better RPGs and Sega had the better sports games. That was like the only thing that people were like, okay, fine.
Well, that and Sega had the better Jurassic Park game. Although
back then, when consoles actually got different versions of the same game.
Yeah, they actually had to do 2 completely separate Rocket Knight games. It was a time to be alive.
Sparkster, excuse me, Lewis. All right, we're OG here on BrainScratch.
Sparkster was the Genesis one, I think, and Rocket Knight Adventures was the Super Nintendo.
No, I think Rocket Knight Adventures was
whatever.
Sparkster.
One of it was.
Hey guys, it's the first 3D official 3D model ever of Mighty the Armadillo. Quality.
Mighty and Ray for Sonic Adventure 3 now. Oh, geez, that was close.
I feel we haven't answered the most important question yet in this commentary, and that's who the fuck is Skylar and why did we invite him here?
Nobody knows and nobody cares. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. I Hate Mania.
I like how people say that, even though I've never said that. Oh wait, I'll just say it right now. I hate Mania. There we go.
Oh, it's on record.
There you go.
It's on record. You're never living it down.
Justification for an opinion I'm jokingly stating. There you are.
Nope, we're cutting that part out.
So anyway, introduce yourself and crap.
I'm a guy. You might recognize me from a certain night with certain baked good snacks. Apart from that, you might have seen me on some other affiliated channels.
Hi, I'm Skylar McClure. You may remember me from such channels as Find the Computer Room,
The Totino's guy, and the voice of Knuckles.
Oh yeah, I did do that for you, didn't I?
Yeah, it was a really small thing, but yeah, Skylar was the voice of Knuckles in my second animation that I did solo.
Oh my goodness, I totally forgot about that.
Johnny, why don't you animate more? Johnny, why don't you do more animations?
God, I remember when Ted was in diapers when I made that cartoon.
It feels like it.
It really does. Let's be real.
Oh God, you're Mach 3 and the UFO's still so far away.
Welcome to Encore Mode.
Yeah, you basically have to go Mach 3 to catch up in these special stages.
You are so lucky that bumper was there.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird seeing Mighty and Ray actually in 3D, even if it's low quality 3D. Although I guess apparently at Comic-Con this weekend, at the time of this recording, it's more or less confirmed that Mighty and Ray and the Team Hooligan are basically being completely banned at being anything modern Sonic related.
Okay.
No, I think they're stuck to the classic universe.
Yeah.
Strictly. It's fine. I don't really care.
As long as they get to show up in classic stuff, that's fine. I just don't want it to be we're only going to let them be in classic stuff and then never do classic stuff.
Modern has enough characters as is.
Yeah.
Man, nobody wants to play as Sonic's dumb friends. People freak out about 2 minor characters that were only.
I wonder who's going to get edited out when this gets edited.
Wait, what was your question, Scott?
Oh no, I was just saying that last special stage. Does anybody else get Mario World vibes from looking at it?
The mushrooms? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, more so Superstar Saga, because there is a town on top of giant mushrooms in that game.
Huh.
Oh yeah, right. I remember.
Well, one thing I will say is that one thing that I will say that I don't necessarily like so much about Encore Mode is some of the recolors of the stages are a bit
Yeah, some of them I don't really like. We'll get to
Some are more noticeable than others. Studiopolis, if you're not looking at the sky, you can't really tell.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. I mean, we're basically going full Sonic Megamix at this point. Because,
I mean, effectively, yes.
Now there's the veterans
we need
discount.
like our 7th Marble Zone recolor.
Yeah, and Sonic Megamix was 5 playable characters as well. The only difference in the roster was that instead of Ray the Flying Squirrel, we had Shadow the fucking Hedgehog. So
I don't know which one is less fitting, to be perfectly honest. Probably Shadow, but
I was gonna say Shadow's definitely way less fitting.
Yeah,
Shadow
but
was weird.
nobody cares
we got
about
a classic
Ray.
Shadow. We got a classic Shadow for that version of the game. It was so bizarre. It looked a bit hokey, but It was interesting to see.
So this was years and years ago, but one of my favorite things I've ever seen on DeviantArt was a design for a classic Shadow, and instead of the motorcycle, he was riding a tricycle, and it was the best.
He says darn and crap a lot.
Yeah, you know, he's edgy.
You're
Like
going
that.
straight to heck.
He's gonna send Eggman straight to Hiffle.
You know what's funny? I only learned this because I've been reading books that use the word in this context a lot lately. But you know what edgy means when it's not being used to describe, like, try-hard stuff?
That something has an
Sharp.
It means
Yeah.
nervous. You look edgy. You look nervous.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
another
also
one. Yeah.
You're
means when
on edge.
You're on the
Yeah.
edge, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it means. So... You're terrified of what that box is gonna do if you break it, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't want to switch characters.
You see, it makes sense because when something is trying too hard to be edgy, it means that they're terrified that their audience won't take their work seriously, so they have to make sure that it's super duper gritty, just so. You know, like Tails walking down a corridor. Oh, are you Sonic? Fuck Sonic. There we go. That's that. It's actually not that different from how Shadow the Hedgehog turned out, actually, now that I think about it. But, you know, whatever.
Yeah, only a girl dies.
Man.
Thank you for tuning in to this Let's Play of the Dictionary.
Or also random, just thought in my head. Encore Mode is just an alternate timeline where Mighty and Ray became the mascots instead of Sonic and Tails.
Why?
I mean,
Encore
it
implying they are doing a second performance after Sega Sonic the Hedgehog.
Interesting.
Oh man. I'm looking at my physical copy now, with the reversible cover. The back of the Genesis cover says push blast processing to the next level with high definition graphics. I was like, that sounds wrong, but then I was like, wait, no. The Model 1 Genesis had high definition graphics printed on it.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
I forgot
it
about
doesn't
that.
even reach 420. It doesn't even reach 420. What a lying sack of shit. The Genesis sucks.
The physical copy of Mania Plus, though, is great. Like, I'm actually really happy that it's a thing now.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so if we go into the apocalypse tomorrow, you can still play Sonic Mania, assuming you have a generator still working. Or for the 2 hours of
Money well
battery
spent.
life your Switch will have left. You know. I mean, then you're just stuck dealing with zombies like normal, but you got to pretend that they weren't there by playing Sonic Mania for a couple hours.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird sort of Danny Vito sort of thing where you have to decide whether or not you want the generator on or the Switch on. Can't have both.
Not with that
Wait,
attitude.
why can't you have both?
Because you need the generator to power the Switch, and the Switch is going to take all the generator's power.
Huh.
You need to decide whether or not that electric fence or playing Sonic Mania is more important.
I
Yeah.
thought the generator generated power. Okay.
Yes. But a generator can only generate so much power.
Huh. It's a lame generator.
Well, that's how they work.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but it can only power one Switch.
Are the levels
Really?
any longer in Encore Mode?
No.
Okay,
No.
because I saw the 6 minutes on the timer and I remembered how long
No,
these stages are.
I'm just taking my time trying to find secret rings and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about Encore Mode is that the time limit is removed.
Okay, they should have had that normally,
Well, no, you
but
can,
whatever.
it's still there, but you can turn it off.
Can you turn it off in normal mode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Okay.
thank you, because I don't like
Huh.
that. Especially
So you
with
can
how
turn it off in
long
Mania
the
as well.
stages were in Mania. Like, it's the only Sonic game I've ever timed out in ever. So
Not
I'm
even in
glad that
Carnival
they-
Night?
Even when I know what I'm doing, even when I know what I'm doing, Titanic Monarch.
No,
Act 2 still
not
takes
in
like 8
not in
minutes.
Carnival. Well, I don't play Sonic 3 all that much, but
Man.
Carnival Night I knew how to do the what's it's called, the up and down thingy.
Sandopolis Zone Act 2 gets me every time, but that's the only level I ever time over in it.
Well, yeah, I was saying earlier that even when I know what I'm doing, Titanic Monarch Act 2 still takes me like 8.5 minutes.
It doesn't take me
I'm
that
actually-
long, but
See,
Really, I
that's funny to me because that's not actually a physically very long level.
No, it's just you have to go through 4 different corridors.
Yeah, but I'm more likely to die than I am to time over.
Yeah, but the time doesn't reset if you die in Sonic Mania. Like, in some Sonic games it does do that. Like, you'll start back at 0 seconds if you die, but not in this game.
The way the system usually works is that it will save your time at the checkpoint.
Yeah.
And reset it to that time. But if you time over, it will reset to 0.
Yeah, usually. So I didn't time out twice, but I did time. I think I timed out, and that gave me a game over, and I had to start the whole zone again. Is what happened, and that made me upset.
Yeah, I can understand getting upset by that.
Yeah, so I'm glad that it's done. People, I know Sonic is supposed to be about going fast, so I understand why you might want to punish people for not going fast or taking too much time. But at the same time, people are all like, Sonic was actually about exploration the whole time. You can think that, but if it's actually going to be about exploration, don't rush me when I'm exploring. Then you can't have it both ways.
The time limit thing was kind of a relic of platformer design because every fucking platformer had a time limit.
Yeah, that is true. It's just
it's a relic that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Lives kind of sort of work in the right context. Time limits not so much.
It depends. The only thing I can think of is Luigi mode of New Super Mario Brothers U.
Nice.
They make all the levels 100 seconds, which I think that makes sense because those levels are pretty short, and it's a thing throughout the entire game.
The one point IGN made that I agree with wholeheartedly is that the physics in the bonus stages are kind of wonky.
You just got to get used to them.
Which is honestly just another Monday for pinball physics and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, the pinball physics in Casino Night Zone and stuff, and in say Mirage Saloon here work fine. They do what you want them to once you get the feel for them. They do what you want them to whenever you want it to. The pinball physics in the bonus stages here, on the other hand, give me some mild Sonic Heroes flashbacks.
Oh, ew!
Mild.
They're
not quite that gross.
What's
but,
bingo?
That bingo stage is where I want to throw my controller almost every time I turn Sonic Heroes on.
Yeah, Casino Park sucks.
I actually like the bingo part. It's the pinball level before that.
Yeah. All right. Bingo Highway isn't horrible.
It's just
Casino Park sucks.
Well, no. The only problem with Bingo Highway itself is that that's where the game starts to have levels that go on for far too long.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not a problem with it's not a problem with the bingo mechanic itself. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, the bingo part's fine. It's just that that's where the Sonic Heroes we need to have 12-minute. No, it's not 12. It's more like 6 or 7. It's Bingo Park. It's
6
not
or 7, which adds up to 12 when you put the
12
two
minutes.
acts together.
Yeah.
But the physics work fine for Bingo Highway. They are terrible for Casino Park's pinball, though. So they're good for rolling down, not so much for rolling up.
I remember the first time I played Sonic Heroes. At the very end, there's that pinball section right before the goal ring. And I think I spent a good 3 minutes just trying to get Sonic into the goal ring because they were that bad.
Oof.
Okay, so do they change any? You said they don't change any bosses really for Encore
Well,
Mode.
they changed one and very slightly changed the final one.
Okay.
Just regards to the final one, the get 4 hits and you skip a heavy phase thing. They patched out some of that.
So you can't skip heavy phases by abusing invincibility.
You can skip a few of them, but not all of them.
Okay.
Not all of them, yeah. It's the disappointing thing I find about Encore Mode is that for something that's supposed to take place chronologically after the original mode, there's not much change besides environments and 1 or 2 boss fights. I figured it would have been a nice time to make every boss fight more challenging.
Kind of what I was kind of thinking it would be is, I know it's a completely different genre, but Master Quest and Zelda, where it's the same game but everything's remixed.
I was thinking more extra mode from Kirby.
Well, that works too. Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Whatever. I mean, I'm surprised you made the Kirby reference and not me. Is this confirmation that the Kirby Marathon's happening, John? Is it? Huh?
I only pulled what I knew, and what did I know except for the very first fucking Kirby game?
Ted.
What?
You reset the timer again.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, he's right about that.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
That buzz was giving me flashbacks.